As a young girl growing up, I remember my father very often having nightmares. He would sometimes scream or mumble in his sleep. And when I asked him about what he dreamt or why he was screaming, he told me that he had dreamt about a burglar, someone entering into the home that was not supposed to be there. And this was a recurring thing, so my father had nightmares. It was like recurring during my childhood. I asked him recently, because I have not heard about those nightmares since he divorced my mother, or since she kicked him out and divorced him, rather. And he said, yeah, they have disappeared. But in the entirety of his marriage to my mother, they were there. Were they trying to tell him something? Yesterday, I watched a documentary about the BTK killer, Dennis Rader, and it was like partially documentary and partially interviewing his daughter. And she said that during my upbringing, when I lived in the same house with my father, I had these recurring night terrors and nightmares about a bad man, a burglar, someone coming into our home. I dreamt that there was a bad man there. And she said that I wonder, in hindsight, knowing now what I know about my father, if those dreams were actually about him being the bad man who was in my house. And while my daughter had the same experience, so when we were living with her father, she also had night terrors and recurring horrible nightmares, and she would not say what they were about. Those nightmares disappeared completely after we left. It only returned during a brief period during the stalking. But now we have been safe here in this new location since February. So I won't count the months now, but it's quite a long time now that we have been safe. And since we moved to this new home, they have not reappeared. I also had bad dreams as a child. There were a couple of them. One that was recurring when I was very little was a dream that there was a secret room in our house, and when I opened it, I would go inside and there would be a witch there. And they were so convincing that I asked my parents repeatedly, where is that door? Because I dreamt that it was in a corner between two doors, and there was a secret door. And I was convinced that the door should be there because I dreamt about it every night, and me going in to see this witch. I also had a very, very disturbing dream. It's one of the first dreams that I remember, and it was about a girl and a fish, like a big fish and a girl. And it was like I was seeing a movie. The fish was eating the girl, so he was trying to eat her, starting at her feet. And the girl had to survive. She had to eat the fish. And in the dream, they both ate each other. So it was so disturbing. It was horribly disturbing. And I remember this dream. I remember having thoughts about this dream occurring. I only dreamt it once, but it made such an impression on me as a little girl because it was so disturbing. And afterwards, I don't really believe in horoscopes, but I have this thought that my mother is a fish and I'm born in the sign of the Virgin. My mother is a Piscis and I was born in the sign of the Virgo. So I can't explain it, but sometimes I wonder, was there some sort of deeper meaning? And perhaps it was not the star signs, perhaps it was just the dream telling me that there was some sort of predator living in my home, because that was the common theme. And I think that predator was my mother. She, being a malignant narcissist, harmed me both physically and mentally during my upbringing, and during the whole period. Like when we had contact, she was a very destructive woman, and she did a large amount of harm to our family and to me, to my father. Lies and smears and schemes and tricking people. And of course, my dreams helped me and warned me in the process of leaving my ex-husband, and they warned me when he showed up stalking us. I have a playlist where I have put together the videos where I talk about this, if you want to listen to that. But what about you? Have you experienced something similar? Dreams warning you before you consciously understood what was going on? Warning you about the abuse, the oppression, the ways that you were kept silenced? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for listening in. I'm Emma, holding up a light over the bridge. See you in the next video.